Hello and welcome to Just Do It, a Dewey Brothers podcast. I'm Alex.
And I'm Eric.
So, Eric, today is the 25th of March. How are you holding up in this first perilous week of quarantine?
Well, I don't know what to make of it. I've scrolled through so much of Reddit, so much of the internet. I've gone to places that I don't want to speak of.
What's the most interesting place that you have touched upon in your vast journeys?
Let's see. It started with people effing dying, and then it leaned in towards people dying, and then it leaned into just P-Y. It just cut out that middleman.
Oh, man. You hit up all of those subreddits. For our listeners, which ones are actually people dying, or are they all jokes? At this point, are they all comedy subreddits?
No, yeah, they've all been removed.
Okay, it's not like the good old days.
People actually die.
Yeah, the good old days, people dying was just that. It was horrible, actually.
I don't know how it was on the internet.
It was a wilder time, the Wild West for sure.
You know, the Wild West of the internet, nice and unmediated.
Yeah, I've been hunkered down up here. I went to the store. I managed to successfully get, and this is critical for my survival as a bachelor who lives alone. I managed to get the very last box of Kraft macaroni and cheese. That wasn't the ones with the noodles that aren't the full. They don't have the full weight. You got to check the fancy noodle shapes because the boxes with the fancy noodle shapes, they have 1 entire ounce less of noodle. That's how they get you.
Well, that's just highway robbery.
Yeah, there were tons of the fancy ones left, but no one wants that garbage. So I managed to sweep in, grabbed, I think it was a box of white cheddar at the standard price. None of this, Annie's markup or anything like that.
Of course. I do love me some Annie's though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I was so glad that I had at least one more meal in these trying times because cooking is basically impossible.
Cooking, as far as I'm concerned, is impossible. You took the words out of my mouth.
How's mom's cooking? When I was home last week, it was fantastic.
Well, you see, that was the weekend.
Oh no.
We've leaned into the days of leftovers. I think I've had the same bean soup for the 4th day in a row.
What do you use to spice up the bean soup? Do you have anything else, or is it just bean soup and you take it or you starve?
You take it or you starve. She's actually been doing a great job with adding in some bread.
Oh yeah, I know the flour supplies are running low.
They are.
When I went shopping up here in Potsdam, in the middle of nowhere, no one is making bread, so there was still flour left. Maybe mom should go back to the supermarket and get contaminated and bring home the bread.
The bread being coronavirus, of course, because she's going out in public.
Yeah. Naturally. Yeah. So, do you want to get into today's topic?
I think I can do that.
You think you're ready?
My body is ready.
My mind's telling me yes. Wait, no, it's the other way around, right?
Oh, my mind is telling me no, but my body's telling me yes.
All right, your body's ready. I got a list. I'm gonna just bang off. We got
list?
5 of them. Yeah, I got 5 of the list. You have to try and tell me what the list is on about.
Okay, hit me with the first thing.
All right, Mexico is on the list twice. What do you think this is a list of?
I think it's your favorite countries.
I mean, you're not wrong. I do that. So, favorite countries, Sweden is on there 11 times.
I believe it.
Yeah, followed by Germany's on there 3 times.
Okay.
And this is
in order. About Germany in different. We're talking about Germany in different eras, right?
Well, I have modern Germany twice, and then I have the Reichstag once. So
I was gonna say
I have the Third Reich in there too.
I know you would.
Absolutely. I mean, okay, Hitler was a war criminal and mass murderer. That's true. And after that, I lose all credibility in anything I say.
So, this just in, we will not have Alex returning on the podcast ever again. End of story. But today, we'll keep him around.
Oh, fantastic. Glad I'm still on here. So we got Mexico on there twice, and then the next country they're all countries. I think I'm willing to give that away. They're all
Okay.
it's a list. This is a list of countries. Then we have Haiti.
Haiti.
Only on there once. Yeah, Haiti's only on there once.
If we have Mexico and Haiti, those are both places in Central America.
Correct, yeah. Or as I like to call it, Latin America.
Of course. That's
C.
Sí, señor. Solo el mejor.
Yeah, well, see what I heard the Mexicans call it is Americano Mas Bueno. That's what they call Latin America.
I can't disagree. They have some of the best foods like tortillas, y chimichangas, y enchiladas, y frijoles, y I'm just gonna keep listing things off.
Yeah. I didn't know if I should stop you or not. I have this one friend from Mexico. He said to me, and this is a direct quote. He said, "Nosotros no son burros que tú Americanos de Estados Unidos," which I'm assuming means that I'm from Latin America, which is a great country.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, sounds right? Anyway, there's a lot of Latin American countries on this list, but
and
it
you said
is not.
How many
this is not
total?
Well, Mexico's on the list twice, which would be interesting for a list of Latin American countries, and then Haiti is on the list once.
Well, Mom, I'm actually talking to Alex here, and we're recording our podcast.
Oh, I'm gonna have to edit this out, aren't I?
Yes, you will.
That's fine. So,
yep.
Yeah, you're on the podcast.
Alex
Mom.
bought Craig, and he didn't buy him, but we got Craig to work in our studio.
Well, I hired Craig.
He's a bot that records for us.
He's a guy. So Craig is a guy who has a Discord. He's one of my friends.
Craig's a guy with a Discord, he says.
Yeah, he's one of my friends, and he just holds a microphone up to his computer and then sends me the audio files later.
Yeah. So he actually downloads all the audio files right as we are recording, and then he sends them to Alex.
Cool. And then Alex is gonna edit it.
Yep.
All right. Thanks again, Mom, for checking in on us. You the best.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Do good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Alex. Where were we?
Right. Okay, so Mom interlude over. I'm sure some of it will make it into the final cut.
Definitely the spoilers at the end.
Oh yeah, definitely. The sound bites, absolutely.
All right.
Okay, so in this list so far, we have Mexico twice, Haiti once. Not like it's an ordered list of countries, and Mexico is just on the list twice. And you want the third one, right? So yes. I'll give you another one. France. What does Mexico, Haiti, and France all have in common?
So Haiti actually speaks French.
I mean, that you're not wrong. I don't know if the French would agree, but
it's definitely a different like Creole.
Yeah, they try. They try. That's worth something.
Is it countries with female leaders?
Ooh, countries that have elected female leaders. That's really good. It's really wrong.
That makes more sense now.
Although, so that is entirely possible, but not for the reasons you think it is.
Okay.
I mean, it's also not true, but it'd be funny if it was.
It would be funny, but okay. I need another one.
All right. This one might be a bit of a giveaway. Okay. So yeah, we're on 4. I figured it. Iraq 6 times.
Oh my God! Wait a minute. Wait, I know. I have a feeling it's something about President Trump and his tweets.
Ooh, it is not President Trump and his tweet related.
Oh,
some of them are. Yeah, well, probably one of the Iraqs, and I can give you the 5th one if you'd like.
All right, I need this.
So the 5th one is related to President Trump and his tweets because President Trump has tweeted about it. It is number 5 in 2019, last on the list here. I mean, like the list has more stuff than this. This is just my samples from the list, just so we're all clear. For the listeners at home, right? And for your guessing, it's Venezuela in 2019 is the most current, is the last thing on the list.
Is it most political unrest or something?
Well, it's most political unrest caused by one country in particular.
It got to be the U.S., right?
Yeah. Today's topic is United States involvement in regime change.
Oh my goodness.
So let's just throw that out there. My favorite part of this list is that Iraq is on here not once, not twice, but 6 times. The United States has tried to change the Iraqi government 6 times.
That means that they've also failed in their ideals 5 times.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, it means that Iraq just has not been, free enough those first 5 times, and they're spread out. Here's one thing that I didn't see coming at all. The beginning of the list is Tripolitina. So in the 1800s, remember Tripoli, the Marine hymn? Yeah, they invaded and deposed some Barbary coast city-state leaders that were helping with piracy because they didn't like the piracy.
Yep, that's what you do.
And then in the 60s, remember, we invaded Mexico. 1860s, we invaded Mexico for that sweet, sweet territory. And we may or may not have, apparently,
put someone we liked in charge.
Yeah, exactly, right. We may or may not have just gotten rid of the the current Mexican, administration. And then again, the United States helped out in the 1913-1919 Mexican Revolution with Francisco Madero. So the U.S. Army invaded Veracruz and occupied it for 7 months. And then they went in through northern Mexico in 1916, and they murdered Pancho. I mean, murdered is a strong word, but they attempted to kill Pancho Villa and his revolutionary army. So that's why Mexico's on here. That's all like old stuff. And then obviously France is from World War II. You have Belgium, the Netherlands, the Philippines, which is kind of like World War II, except the Philippines is actually a pretty bad part of American history where we gave them a load of freedom, and then it was not the good kind of freedom. And then World War II happened, and then we reluctantly relinquished that freedom.
Oh yeah, I only like one type of freedom, and that bleeds red, white, and blue, baby.
Oh yeah. The first intervention in Iraq, can you guess what year it is?
I want to say it's something surprisingly early, so I'm gonna say 1960s.
Yeah, 1959.
Nice.
The United States reported that the October 1959 assassination attempt on Iraqi Prime Minister Abd al-Karim Qassam involving a young Saddam Hussein and other Bethesda's conspirators was a collaboration between the CIA and Egypt.
Oh my, that is exciting.
So they helped get Saddam Hussein in there back in the 60s. So they finished off the coup in 1963 and put in Saddam Hussein.
That makes sense. They do that.
Today's hot topic was military interventions by the United States. Today we learned.
What's your favorite one, Alex?
Oh, what's my favorite intervention? I'm a pretty big fan of some of the earlier meddlings, like before World War II. So,
oh, definitely. Those ones are just filled with old tales of espionage and just pure absolute
they're better than that. So they're the big empire building ones. So you have to remember in American history that the United States was kind of late to the empire building game. Like Britain did it way better.
They really were.
Yeah,
Britain did have an empire that was just global.
There's a bunch of fun little things where the United States kind of shows up with their flag and gets their moment to make their empire after all the cool kids have done it.
But remember, personally, my favorite expansion of the American, let's say, just the country as a whole is the moon. We took over the moon.
Oh yeah, the entire moon, right? And all the moon men there too are definitely American.
Yeah, now they are.
Yeah, I mean, we claimed them with that flag, right? If you put a flag in it, it's yours. That's how international law works, I assume.
I've actually planted my flag in so many things.
That didn't come out.
That does not sound right. But obviously, it's all my property now.
What does your flag look like, Eric?
Well, it's just a nice green background with 4 E's in the corners pointing out in different directions. So I have 1 E in the upper right, facing the normal way, and then 1 in the bottom right, facing that way, and then it's mirrored onto the other side. And then there's just a big thumbs up in the middle.
That is, that's a communicative and well-designed flag. I think the Vexology subreddit would be super happy about that. See, and just so we're clear, the color of those E's is DeWitt, right?
Obviously.
Yeah, okay, good.
No, it's that weird whitish hue. No. It's that weird brownish hue.
It's the color you get when you mix all the paint together.
Remember, this podcast is brought to you by DeWitt.
Absolutely. So yeah, my flag, right? My flag is it's Nordic Cross, except backwards, so it looks worse.
Oh, very classy.
Yeah. And the cross itself is DeWitt, the color DeWitt, and the background is dark pine tree green, like just that really dark, rich.
Oh yeah, no, that's
green.
That's very coincidentally, that's the same color that my flag is.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, those are the colors of the family crest, so it makes sense.
It is.
Yeah, and so it's a reverse Nordic cross, right? Which looks kind of weird, but once you notice the skier in a full tucked position in the top left-hand corner, then I mean, it makes total sense.
I'd believe that.
Yeah, and he's white, of course, to represent the snow.
Yeah, it's the only logical way.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it couldn't mean anything else. So it's a white
nothing
skier
else.
Right, a white skier in the upper left-hand corner and a reverse Nordic cross, symbolizing my political beliefs of anti-Nordic
consumerism.
Yeah, exactly. Anti-consumerism and anti-Nordic countries at the same time.
Oh, it's anti-Nordic.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
It's just like a Nordic country, but flipped.
But something ain't right.
Yeah, it's a little dystopian. Something didn't copy right on the copier. Maybe I put the flag in that I wanted to copy upside down. You don't know. It's tough to know. Copy machine is hard to use. So yeah, awesome. I mean, I like the big thumbs up in the middle of yours. That really says I'm sending it.
It says, you know what? I'm here. I'm gonna stay here, and it's all good.
What's the last thing you planted your flag in?
Oh man, you really set yourself up for this one, but your mom.
Hey, that's my mom.
Yeah, I mean, you said that wrong. You said my mom. You're supposed to say, but that's your mom.
Ah, no, I've been double cotton again.
You really got.
This literally happens every time.
Oh man, learn how to tell a yo mama joke.
Every time I tell a yo mama joke, you fire back with, but my mama is yo mama.
And then you just, it sucks to be you.
You ruined all of them. All right. Okay, so I think
what are we going to talk about next?
Well, I think it's time to move on to some swaggity internet questions. Again, we don't have anyone who follows us. Actually, that's not true. So let's give a quick shout out to our #1 viewer. Rose Monahan gave us a 12 out of 10. Definitely the highest of anybody else.
That is true. I heard someone that, obviously doesn't love us that much gave us an 11 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking we can bump those numbers up, but, you never know.
However, I did see one comment on our YouTube channel about someone saying that this was their baby's favorite podcast.
Wow, yeah, definitely send Just Do It to all the babies out there.
It's baby approved, baby tested. They'll love it. And you can love it while your babies love it.
So yeah, at Rose Supposes, thanks for the 12 out of 10. And that's on Instagram, by the way. At Instagram, at Rose Supposes. Thanks for the 12 out of 10. We'll see how our ratings go. I'm assuming downhill slope because I like to ski fast and I like to go downhill.
I also like to go downhill very fast, so I'm hoping for a -3 this week.
Oh man, that is a deep downward trajectory. So again, we scoured the internet. We found some questions that some people didn't ask us, and we're here to hit you back. Again, I'm Alex.
And I'm Eric.
And you're listening to Just Do It.
All right, Alex, I got a really good question right here.
I got some good advice. Lay it on me.
So if you could legally change your name to something else, what would it be? And before you answer, I have to give a shout out to this was found on Reddit. So u/__0_line__line__dot.
We'll let our listeners figure out if those were words or characters.
It was all characters.
I assume it's all words. Which is why
So
I'm
if you
changing my name. Yeah, I'm changing my
I
name
like this.
to /dot.
Oh, how
Yeah.
would you pronounce that?
Well, it's not. It's the word slash
Oh,
followed by my middle name, first name slash, like the rocker, middle name dot. So /dot DeWit. Because I'm inspired by // whoever that dude was.
yeah, he sounds like a very cool
Innovator.
guy.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, /dot. What a name.
That would be very cool.
I mean, try putting that into a table. It's gonna mess the whole thing up.
That I mean, actually, I've heard a few stories where someone has like a number in their name or something, and like it just or like their name's hyphenated, and it just completely throws open like an entire like school system.
What do you do? What are you going for?
Well, I was thinking something a little foreign, a little spicy, so I'm going Quothar.
Quothar? How do you spell quoth?
Oh crap! It definitely would. Actually, I was thinking it would be like Q with a apostrophe, but now I'm changing it because I just heard of that terrible news.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna say
yeah, right.
I'm gonna say KWO.
KWO.
There's gonna be at least 4 silent things in here, so I'm thinking another Q.
Oh, just put like
And
3
then
Q's in a row because that's probably unpronounceable.
Oh, that's right. 3 Q. So it's KWO
QQQ
FAR. Except the F sounds like, well, the 3 Q's and the F make a th sound.
Yeah, right. So it's Quothar.
Yes.
All right, Quothar. I like it. That's a solid name.
Okay, /dot.
Yeah.
Anything.
Right? I sound like some sort of messed up internet troll. Like that's a beautiful username.
I think you might be that hacker hacker group anonymous.
I mean, I know those guys, but I'm /dot. I'm not anonymous.
Of course.
All right, Quothar. I got one coming at you, hot and fresh, off of Twitter. At GameCube Bandit, because again, their username had a bunch of Cyrillic in it, and I don't speak Russian. Unfortunately.
Dirty commies.
Well, I mean, I should. Like, it's a beautiful language. What WTF is you're crazy in a good way, a compliment or a effing insult? Well, that's the question of the day. Well,
I would say it's definitely a compliment because
I mean, is it?
Wait. Can you lay that on me?
All right. Quothar.
Just the phrase.
Yeah, Quothar.
Just the phrase. Yeah.
You're crazy in a good way.
Oh no, I'd say it's fine because it's in a good way. Like that way, it can be up to so much different meanings. Like, hey Alex, you're pretty ugly, but in a good way.
Oh wow, I was really insulted there for the first part when I thought I was ugly, but I'm glad it's like in a good way.
Like the in a good way is like your Uno reverse card. Okay,
so at GameCube Bandit, the answer is as long as they say in a good way, it's a lot like no homo. If they say it, it's true.
It's you're totally in the clear.
Yeah, you're totally in the clear, 100%. So if I say at GameCube Bandit, you ask like the dumbest questions ever, but in a good way, then it's fine.
I think it works.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I love your questions.
Yeah, because there's something. It's not perfect. Like being called crazy sometimes is a compliment in its own. Like, oh man, that was crazier. Yo, dude, you do some crazy stuff. It's how you say it, and really, that in a good way just solidifies it. Saying, it's good.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have any other good examples of how at GameCube Bandit could try like get some more examples to let them understand the concept we're talking about?
Let's see. You're a dirty troglodyte, but in a good way.
Oh, yo, man, I really was feeling down about being a cave dweller, but I realized, it's a good thing. It has its perks, and like I'm glad that you understand those, especially in these social distancing times.
Of course. Yeah. So Alex, I'm walking down the street and I just see this filthy mongrel of a human.
Mongoloid.
His name is slash dot. Let's just assume it's
Let's
slash
just
dot.
assume it's slash dot. I mean, slash dot's
So I'm
probably
gonna-
gonna feel bad that he is. You can't just tell him straight up that he's a filthy, filthy mongoloid.
No, so I'm gonna turn to him and I'm gonna say, "Wow, you absolute piece of gutter trash! How dare you walk these same streets that I do? I want you to leave and never want to see your repulsive face ever again."
But like in a good way, though.
But in a good way.
Yeah. And then it's fine.
It's
Yeah.
okay.
Absolutely. That
Everyone knows.
sounds good to me. Yeah.
We obviously answered that question.
Oh, done. Easy. You want me to throw you out another one? I got another one here.
I have one right here that it could be. We could talk about it for
All
a
right,
little
hit
bit.
me up.
So u/XX I want to know XX is asking, what are some great series to get into?
Well, first of all, you XX, I want to know XX. That is a very inquisitive username.
He wants to
In a
know,
good
and
way.
he's he's also up for something wild with those X's.
Yeah, right. X-rated series. I don't watch a lot of those.
I'm not too familiar with the series. I prefer standalone films.
Yeah, Jojo Rabbit's really good. You should watch that if you've seen it. If you
All
haven't
right.
seen it.
But they really want to know series because
They wanna get into a
especially
series.
in this time, you gotta get a binge-worthy series.
I've heard The Expanse is pretty good.
I also have heard it's very good.
Yeah, if you're into space travel, I would recommend that. If you're into comedy or something, I mean, Brooklyn Nine-Nine is always primo.
But why would you watch anything other than Futurama?
Oh, so if you're, yeah, okay, you're right. XX, I want to know XX. Watch all of Futurama. We assumed you just did. Everyone, I assume, has just seen all of
Everyone should.
Futurama. If you haven't, do it. And if not, then Morbo's disappointed in you. And
he will bring doom.
Doom! Yeah, Morbo's coming for you.
Back to you, Linda.
Oh, hey. Tonight in heaven. So the other thing, there's only we're going to retract everything we just suggested, and we are going to say XX, use UXX, I want to know XX. There's only two series, and you can just watch them on repeat. First one is Futurama, and the second one is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Get that JoJo.
Oh, I was just gonna say, give me some JJBA up in there.
And exactly, when you're done with the JJBA, then just say Muda about 10,000 times. Just power up your stand and go Muda, 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 Muda.
Or get some good breath exercises and harness your hamon.
I mean, you could harness your hamon, but then you couldn't change your name to match your stand. What's the name of your?
That is true.
Eric, is your stand named Quothar, but with like 3 Qs?
Ah, crap. Well, no, that's not too music related. I think it would be.
Oh, it's got to be a music related stand. Is that what they're at?
Of course.
Well, I thought they ran out of tarot cards.
Well, it started with tarot, and then it went to like, I forget. Oh, and then it went to Egyptian like gods, and then it went to music.
Oh, okay.
100% music references.
Oh, beautiful.
But I think they did forget about the ancient god Quothar.
Quothar?
With 3 Qs.
With 3 Qs, yeah.
Oh, everyone would be terrified by that.
I mean, I think my stand is just called Daft Punk Red.
He's a punk daft.
Yeah. Oh well, Red's already taken, so he's got to be Daft Punk Maroon.
No, Alex, you're all wrong. It's DeW It Daft Punk.
Oh yeah, right. Daft Punk DeW It. That's my stand name. He's pretty cool. He comes out, he has a big head on, giant head, and he just shoots laser beams right out of the top of it at people.
That's all it is.
Yeah, that's his move. His move
is
Turbo Laser Blast. Hooah!
Meanwhile, Quothar just sits there and he says, "Ha! My name is Quothar." And then everyone they lose because his name's Quothar.
Oh yeah, absolutely, right. So I think the full activation of my stand would be something like, "Hooah! Fear the power of my stand, Daft Punk DeW It!" And he's like, "Hooah! Hit the laser DeWit Blast.
And it's just all poses.
Oh yeah, I mean that was 7 different camera angles. If you weren't paying attention, there was 15 different cuts in there between 7 different camera angles.
Dang, I love to hear it.
So I mean, I'm glad I figured out my stand. That's fantastic. So anyway, yeah, whoever that dude was, go watch JoJo's Futurama. Get back to us.
Futurama, and just you'll love it. And if you don't, well, then there's something wrong.
And well, yeah, and when you get to the end of Futurama, like just start it over again, you'll understand.
There's continuity within it all. You got another question?
I got another question, man. It's hot and fresh.
Hit me with it.
John Stevenson at Crop Mad says John Deere 9RT owners. Has anyone
beautiful piece of machinery?
Absolutely. I got 3 out back. Has anyone
Really?
Yeah. I leave him in the driveway. It's how I get to work up here. Has anyone, I mean, obviously I'm not using them right now. Has everyone measured in front of their idler rims over 5 millimeters closer at the lead edge than at the trailing edge? Appears to scuff bituminous roads more than the others locally.
All right, I got Dad over here.
Yeah.
He just hopped in. Dad, do you know anything about the John Deere TR3?
No, it's the 9RT. The TR3 is a different tractor.
Oh, the 9R3?
Yeah, the 9RT. The 9. Yeah, 9 Romeo Tango.
Alex and I have questions about it for our podcast. Well, now that just looks like a beautiful piece of machinery. I, of course, own 3 out back, just like you.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you need 1 for the snow, 1 for the gravel, and 1 for the grass.
Down in those muddy fields.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing really beats it. So what was this farmer trying to ask about again?
I mean, he was checking out the idler rims.
Oh,
he says the idler rims. Right, the leading edge was 5 millimeters closer than the trailing edge, and he keeps scuffing up the roads out there.
Oh man,
everybody else's tractors. So he doesn't want to be a bad neighbor, scuff up the roads, and he wondered if it was that part. And the answer is no, dude. That's not it at all. Because I got mine set to 20 centimeters closer.
Really, I actually
I don't tear up anything.
I was gonna say I took my front wheels off.
Oh, you took them right off.
The thing glides like a champ now.
Did you put on some treads? Or you just run it on rims?
John Deere Kragers on there?
I put the John Deere Kragers on there.
Oh yeah, tight.
Chrome spinners and all.
it's got chrome, man. It's decked out.
Oh wait, you lifted yours? Maybe that's the problem.
I think he does need to lift it. Maybe get some hydraulics in there.
Get some hydraulics. Get a big bass. Get a big, good, nice subwoofer.
And then, of course, you got to get a fridge or a cooler put on back with a few beverages. We're gonna say tractor sodas.
Yeah, tractor sodas for when you're out there tilling the fields. Absolutely. I've heard you can that's a good way to measure field size, at least when I'm doing it, One of my fields,
many sodas?
It's a 2.5 soda field. I'm gonna say 3 acres.
I don't know how fast. I was gonna say
my tractor goes real slow, so
I was gonna say if it's a nice hot sunny day, sometimes that tends to be almost a 3 tractor soda kind of day.
Oh yeah, well it depends on the weather, of course. If it's real cold, then you got to crank the heat, and if it's a real hot summer day, I mean that can increase your tractor soda consumption for sure. Which is you got with the price of tractor sodas these days, that's really something you got to consider.
It is.
I mean, gasoline is dirt cheap. I get entire feet to the gallon, so.
Dang, that's pretty good. I've been getting inches to the gallon.
Oh man,
happy with that.
Rough, yeah, a big tractor, especially with the front wheels taking off, and when you lift them, it doesn't do you any good.
It doesn't help. I will say it does not help. I think we answered that question, and if our farmer friend had Crop
Mad, at Crop Mad, if you got a problem, hit us up. We can. I mean, I don't need all 3 anymore. Now it's not winter. I can send you some spare parts or some pictures off of my John Deere 9RT. And
trust me, like once
get that lift, get in there, pump up the hydraulics, and gas is real cheap right now, so don't worry about it.
When you walk into the DeWitt store, Pimp My Tractor, then you'll know what you need to do.
No, I mean you got to chrome that bad boy out. That's non-negotiable. It keeps this. Well, it gets all the crows in one place so they can get mixed up with the grain.
It's true. I
Plus
do love my
fertilizer.
bread.
That's
I
right.
do love my crow bread.
Yeah, that's why the government can only say that all bread is contains less than 1 in 100 part crow. You didn't know that? It's just like
It is-
chocolate.
they can't say it's not perfect crow.
Yeah, I mean it's impossible. It would be an engineering miracle if you could reduce the amount of crow to below 1 in 100 parts. I've heard
That's
that.
true.
So here's what I've heard. I've heard it's actually an antiquated, a lot like the alcohol laws. It's an antiquated system of air. They just haven't updated it, and that your manufacturers are actually down. They can control the amount of crow, right? Inspect their bread to get it down to like they're accurate to within 1 in 1 part, 1 in 1,000 parts crow. So they just add a little bit extra crow in to keep the flavor the same.
All right, I think we're all set with questions, don't you?
I think so. Yeah, that just leaves us
We
with
definitely answered all of those.
right. So that just leaves us with our last segment: news in real sports and news in fake sports. You want me to start us off in the fake sports realm?
I actually have a interesting story we can go into.
All right, let's start us off, Eric.
So, believe it or not, real sports with Eric DeW It. We actually started last Sunday on ESPN. They actually showed some beautiful sports from around the world in a nice collection called the Ocho.
Oh, I love the Ocho. It's real hard to find most of the year. You got to get up to like the thousands, 8,000 something is what channel it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the channel.
Right.
But so if you are unfamiliar with the Ocho, it's a day that was popularized from the movie Dodgeball, an underdog story. And it's a beautiful, beautiful film, really addresses the important topics of our nation, such as the national dodgeball competition.
Only the most important of competitions. I mean, really defines America. I can't think of a single sport more important in America than dodgeball.
Except, hear me out. When I was watching the Ocho this past weekend, I saw the stone skipping competition.
Ooh, the stone skipping competition. Did they have some prime stone skippers out there?
I think it's the world's best that were out on the circuit that week. I saw a 20 skipped stone.
You saw a stone skip 20 times.
Yeah, it broke my brain. And this was out on a windy coast with waves, kayakers, ferries, and he was able to skip it 20 times.
I mean, that is an incredible display of both skill and talent. Just raw skill right there.
It really is. So I'd have to say that is big news in real sports because, again, we're still on lockdown, but the Ocho was always there for us. They got the best real fake sports that are still real because of the time we live in.
That's fantastic. So for our update in fake sports news, I got sad CLG news. We lost to Dignitas, and then we played Cloud9. Now, for those of you that don't follow the LCS, Cloud9 is 14-1, 15-1. They're the best. 16-1, whatever. Anyway, we put up a really good fight. My boy Ruin up in the top lane. He tried 1v9, and he really pulled his weight. He was like, I'm not getting fired in the off season. Everybody just, pretend, just feed top lane. I got this. And it really looked like they were going to beat C9 coming down to the wire. Ruin out 1v1'd the C9 top laner. And then the rest of CLG got murdered. Then C9 just kind of pushed into the base and won. So that was a real tough loss. But the team looked good. They were playing from their bedrooms. I think the performance from day 1 to day 2 is because one of the CLG players was experiencing some lag on the first day, so he got a different computer to play on the next day.
That sounds like a good use of money.
Yeah, performance enhancer, really. Go to the office real quick while no one else is there and bring back a computer so you can play League on low ping.
That's pretty funny.
Then the other races I was watching, the other sporting event, is the Marble GP. So for all your news in the Marble GP,
of course,
yeah. I follow the Raspberry Racers and the Snowballers, and it was another sad day. I'm telling you, it was a bad weekend.
I remember I forgot to check in this week, but I got to be an Orangs fan.
Oh, the O'Rangers.
O'Rangers. I remember we were talking about it last week.
The race this week was at the short circuit. So it's a short, fast course right off the top of the lift. It is hot and fast, and they go balls to the wall. It's
good to
like
hear.
14 laps. And my boy, so Raspberry, he was bad. He didn't get out of the start gate, and he looks like he couldn't make any, lap after lap. It just didn't look like he was making any progress. But then,
So sad.
it was really bad. But then, Snowy of the Snowballers, man.
Snowy's coming in hot.
Dude, Snowy starts out in 11th place, and he slowly works his way up every lap of the short circuit, gaining couple spaces. My man Snowy is gunning for it at the end. I'm so and guess what? He moves up lap after lap after lap after lap, and he finishes first, baby.
Whoa, we love to hear it.
Unfortunately for you, Clementine of the O'Rangers got 2 points by posting the fastest lap, and 1 point because they finished in 10th. So Clementine coming in 10th. But I was so happy, man, that Snowy of the Snowballers pulled it out. I was watching, I was waiting. I can't believe he made the run all the way up into first place. Go check out Marbula 1 on Jelly's Marble Runs. We're going to keep you updated. The current standings are the Snowballers moved up 6 places with that first place. So now the Snowballers are in 4th. The O-Rangers are in 5th. I mean, it's neck and neck. And of course, the Raspberry Racers are in 14th. They're not doing so hot. Can't win them all.
You really can't.
Yeah, you can't win them all.
Well, best of luck. Best of luck to those gosh darn marbles.
So is it finally time to thank our sponsors?
I think we also need to thank our viewers. It sounds like we're wrapped up here.
I'd like to thank our sponsors of today's episode. Mom's Office.
Of course, always thanking the sponsors.
Yep, Mom's Office. It's almost a recording studio. Alex's Apartment. Best views of Hanawa Falls. The color, as always, the color DeWitt. Just, mix all the paints together. John Deere Tractors. They're large and in charge. Lift them.
Oh, baby. And we also have to thank Edgemore Edgers for always keeping our Little League fields perfectly crisp and clean and edged with the best of them. Remember, edge, baby, edge. Edge, baby, edge.
Anyway, thanks again for listening to Just Do It, a Dewey Brothers podcast. I'm Alex.
I'm Eric.
Make sure to keep your Little League fields green, those mountains snowy, and for the love of God, man,
just send it.
Oh no, we're in extra soundbite territory.
Oh, I know.
They have signs that are like no access onto Clarkson except for unless no unauthorized access to this property, like just around Clarkson. Trevor Noah's balls, right? They're the latest internet rage.